Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a will I buy it, where we're going to be talking through all of these new and upcoming makeup releases, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and what I plan to pick up and what I am hard passing on. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. Okay, so first up, there are coming, that doesn't sound right. There are going to be some new shades are coming. I don't know what's happening. It's Monday. I'm so tired. I feel like it's Friday. But no, there are going to be some new shades of the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blushes. I've never been more confused by the naming of something before than I have these blushes. They're called Rosy Glow blushes, but some of them aren't rosy and none of them are glowy, as far as I understand. So what are we doing with the name? That's my first question. But I'm confused because the first time I saw that there were going to be new shades of this, there appeared to be two new shades. One is like a beautiful peachy kind of shade, and one was a sort of berry plummy shade that looked very autumnal / wintry. But now Trend Mood has posted this photo, which has 5 shades, but I think that top one is the existing pink viral at one point shade. So the other 4, I mean, I don't know what this photo is supposed to tell me. It doesn't tell me a lot other than, I don't know, someone has run out of printer ink and they need to replace their cartridge. So I'm not 100% sure. I've never tried this formula. Would you believe it? Would you Adam and Eve that I've never tried the Backstage blush formula? It's too matte for me. I felt like the shades previously were just very overwhelming and something I have a lot of already. That peachy shade though is very, very pretty and very, very me and very perfect for summer. So I may well get that one. I don't even know what to tell you about these other shades because this drawing is like very confusing. I've no idea what's happening here. It kind of looks like on the second row on the right. Is that a like neutrally shade? If so, I may pick that one up. I can't even tell you what shades the other ones are, so I don't know about those, but we'll keep you posted. I'm definitely going to pick up at least one of these. I just need to try the formula, if nothing else, you know. Next up, let's talk about these Armani liquid bronzers. A few of you contacted me about these. They're not available here as far as I can find anywhere, but I did have several messages from you guys once you saw Tanya's video. Tanya B. Wells made a video on these. She looked stunning. She looks stunning in everything that she wears and puts on her face, but loved these. They looked beautiful in her video. They looked glorious. She made them work like a dream. This is the absolute like nightmare for me. Like a pipetted, what is going on with pipettes at the moment, by the way? Is there a new trend that I didn't know about? What happened to a good old doe foot? What was wrong with that? Why are we pipetting everything all of a sudden? This is my nightmare. A liquid, runny, watery bronzer with a pipette. I don't even know where to start with how many things are wrong with all of that, okay? These are my nightmare. As stunning as they may or may not look on the skin, I just can't even envision how I'm going to use that. I feel like it's going to be such a mess and a pain. I just would much rather whack it on with a brush out of the compact or dab it on with a doe foot. I can't be pipetting things. I haven't got time for pipettes. All right, maybe if these arrive here and I'm still curious enough, because I am curious as to how exactly this is going to work, if it's going to end up running all down my face and being a big leaky mess. I'm a little curious, you know. So I may pick one of these just because, you know, curiosity killed the cat, if nothing else. But I have no interest personally in this because I just see it being a disastrous, messy pain in the bottom. Is what I see when I look at these. Next up, Gucci have released new shades of their Luminous matte blushes. I love this formula. I love the packaging. I love them. I'm a big fan. I don't know that any of these 3 shades, I own 3 shades already. I've got the peach, the coral, and the rosy beige. that her name? And I'm not sure that any of these super appeal to me. I do want to see swatches. I haven't seen swatches yet. Possibly that sort of burnt terracotta-y orange may be coming to live with me, but the others, you know, they're pinks. They're not really my shades, I don't think. So as much as I love the formula, I think these are going to be a pass because I'm not wowed. I'm not gripped in the talons of these new shades. Okay, next up, Bobbi Brown came out with these Sculpted Glow face palettes. There is a bronze, blush and highlighting trio, and there are 3 varieties for different skin tones. I guess I would go for the middle one, which has that beautiful orangey peachy blush in there. I don't know what my problem is when it comes to Bobbi Brown. This really should appeal to me. It really should. I love a face palette. The colours all look wonderful. I like the packaging. I just don't know what it is. There's something about that brand that just every time I'm really reluctant to pick up anything from the brand. Is it just me? Does Bobbi Brown have this effect on other people? I don't know. I feel like the brand is really struggling to make a comeback. At one point it was like all anybody used. Everyone was a big Bobbi Brown fan, and then obviously Bobbi herself left the brand. I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe that does leaves me hanging, loose, free, not knowing what to make of it. I don't know, but I see these Bobbi Brown releases and think I should be interested in that. I should be excited about it, and I'm just not. If Charlotte Tilbury was coming out with these, or Pat McGrath was coming out with these, or Laura Mercier were coming out with these, I would be all over it. But for some reason, put the name Bobbi Brown above it, the brand, I should say, Bobbi Brown above it, and I'm just suddenly underwhelmed. And I couldn't tell you why, but yes, I've passed on these, as you may have noticed. But one of these days, I'm gonna force myself to do a full face of Bobbi Brown, because there's absolutely no logical reason why I should be so rude about them. I can only apologise. Okay, so next up, let's talk about Suqqu Summer collection. I am really getting on board with a bit of Suqqu, okay? I've really never been disappointed by anything I've tried from the brand. Their lip formulas, eyeshadow formulas, their blush and highlight formulas. I think that's everything I've tried. Oh no, wait, I didn't like their foundation, but the rest of it, their powder formulas, love, and their lip formulas I also love. So yeah, I'm really on board. What I love about them is I just feel like their colour stories are always quite unique. I feel like even just the layout and everything of these blushes and the lipsticks, everything just feels a little different, a little unique. The colour stories are always, they're not just churning out the same old colour stories as everybody else. Their previous collection, the green palette, the quad that I spoke about, that just feels so special and unique to me in the colour story. I love it. The performance is always super perfect. It's not Pat McGrath shadows, but it's also not really lackluster either. They just have their own vibe, and I really, really enjoy it. That being said, there's nothing that's kind of grabbing me from this specific collection. I've had a look at some swatches of the blushes, and neither of those shades grab me so much. Tavia Chic Profile Official, she has this whole collection, she has amazing swatches of everything. But yeah, I feel like the pinky blush is a little light, a little pink for me, and then the more sort of orange blush, which should be my shade, is really light, so not great for me, especially this time of year. And yeah, the 2 eyeshadow quads not really grabbing me as far as the color story, and the lip products either. I just feel like this is all an easy pass for me, but I really appreciate it. I think it's stunning to look at. I like that they're putting out things that are a little bit different. I'm always really happy with the quality from Suqqu, but yeah, none of it is grabbing me personally with this specific collection. Next up, let's talk about this Dyson Air Straight. This, I just love Dyson. They're coming out with stuff. They're so innovative. And yes, of course, this is going to cost you, the price of a small family car, I imagine. But I always feel like Dyson products, they last incredibly well. Their customer service is amazing. We've got hoovers from them. I've got my Dyson Airwrap. I've had, both of those products for years. Anytime you've got any kind of issue, which you don't really have very often, but they will literally just send you a new part, send you a new this, send you a new that, send you a whole new item if you have any issues. Their customer service for me really justifies the price point and the quality of the products, how long they last, how well they perform. I've never been disappointed or felt like I overpaid for something. I just think they are incredibly talented, clever, and in the world of technology, they're always like setting, you know, the benchmark for the next thing, and then everybody copies it. So I am not a straight hair girl. I mean, my hair is pretty much straight anyway. The only reason it's got any life whatsoever in it today is because I slept on it wet. So it's just taken on the shape of my pillow. So that's all that's happened today. But typically, if I was to, you know, wash my hair and then let it air dry, it would just be like as straight as a piece of paper. Very, very dull, very lifeless, very boring is this little mop. So I don't really ever straighten it. I don't know why I would need to make it any straighter. It's lifeless enough as it is, and I very, very rarely would straighten it. The only reason I would do that is if it's an absolute mess, a bit like today, and I'm going somewhere where I want to look put together, but I don't have time to like do a Dyson Airwrap or to curl it. That's when I would straighten it, but I just don't like how my hair looks straight. I just think it looks, you know? I think it's because I've got no volume. That's what I'm saying. So this is not for me because I would just never use this. It's not sort of something that I would use. If I want to do my hair and have my hair look really nice, I love my Airwrap and I want some body and I want some movement and I want some waves and some volume. I don't want to straighten it any flat. I don't think it can get any flatter. It's already at pancake level. But I'm really happy they came out with this. I think it's so clever. This is basically a straightener slash hairdryer in one. And you can literally dry your hair from wet to dry and straight in one step. I think this is going to be amazing for my curly girls. I think this is going to be amazing for those of you who are blessed with hair full of life and fight and kapow, who want to look a little sleeker. I think it's just not for me, not something I would use, but you know, I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it's arrived because I know some people are living for this, just not me. Next, let's talk about these Give Beauty. I'm never really sure how to say this brand. I'm furious about the misspelling, but that is what it is. But these are the Give Beauty highlighters and little bronzing bricks, should we say? Why not? Now, speaking of Bobbi Brown, these immediately reminded me of Bobbi Brown's like bronzing bricks or shimmer bricks, whatever they used to call them, just slightly different shape. I literally thought that's what they were when I first saw these photos. So I was like, again, this is another brand that just hasn't gripped me by my purse strings, you know? They just really haven't sort of stood out to me yet. Everything is kind of underwhelming. Everything is just like, okay, it's there. You know, it's out, it's happening, they've arrived. But have they? They haven't arrived in this house. I'll tell you, nothing has arrived here from that brand yet. And this is another easy pass for me. I just look at it and I'm like, I mean, okay, I don't know that this is exciting. I feel like it's been done before, of course. I'm not loving the packaging. I'm not loving the colours. I'm not loving the little noughts and crosses game that's going on in the product there. I don't know. Maybe feels a little childish to me. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but it feels a little young. I feel like this is makeup in your teens / maybe early 20s. It doesn't feel like grown-up makeup to me. I don't know if that's just me. Is it just me? Help me. I don't know. I'm just not drawn to this brand really, or these products specifically at all. It's an easy pass. I feel like I can do better. We can all do better than this. I think there's better coming. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and next we have these light reflecting under eye brighteners from Nars. I'm really, really intrigued by these. I don't really ever buy or use color correctors, and these kind of sound a bit like a hybrid between like a concealer and a color corrector. They don't look necessarily color correcting. They're more so light reflecting brightening as opposed to concealing. So I'm in. I want to try these. I'm intrigued by them. I'm hoping this might be something really nice and lightweight. It says that it's crease resistant. They have a medium coverage, a radiant finish, which typically I'm not a big fan of. But this doesn't look, at least from the before and after, like it's super glowy, shiny, bright, reflecting. It looks a bit more subtle and skin-like. There's actually less glow in the after picture than there is in the before. So that fills me with hope. I do like this kind of pot, you know, Nars's pot concealer. I really like to use as an eyeshadow primer, but it is a bit heavier than I like for my under eyes. So I feel like this might be a slightly lighter version of that. And yeah, I'm for sure going to give it a try. I guess it's going to be much more of a brightener than it is a concealer because the shade range is telling me that. You know, Nars typically have a much better shade range than this. So yeah, maybe I will give this one a try. It's about time I started trying to get on board with colour correctors, you know? So I'm sure this will be a great one. Nars does great complexion products. Foundations, primers, concealers have always been big hits for me. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. And lastly, but by no means leastly, because this is the most exciting launch for a while for me, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Lovegasm collection. Now, I know what you're thinking because I'm thinking the exact same thing. Is this new? Have we not already had all of this? We're seeing a lot of products we've seen before, a lot of existing products. So obviously the concealer, the mascara, the foundation are all existing permanent products. We've also got a couple of light ones. Now I'm zooming in, I'm using my binocular eyeballs and zooming in. We have Pinkgasm, which is obviously a previously existing shade. And then we have Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand. I think that's a new shade, right? Glowgasm? I haven't heard of that one before, I don't think. Tell me, am I wrong? Am I wrong? So I think we've got a new shade of the Beauty Light Wand. Then this palette, so this is the Lovegasm palette. This is the one, if you remember, it was released a few years ago. They had two shades, I think a light and a deep, and it was controversial. I don't know if you remember, people loved or hated it. I loved it. I got a lot of use out of mine and I really, really enjoyed it. What was controversial mainly was the bronzing shade in there. It was that baked gelée formula. For lots of people, they found it was like too hard pressed. It was too firmly pressed and they just couldn't get enough product. They couldn't pick up enough product. I loved it. I really enjoyed that palette, got a lot of use out of it. I went through my drawers and found it earlier because I was trying to check if this is the exact same color story, exact same palette, and it is definitely exactly the same, but it was really beaten up, okay? And I got a lot of use out of it. I loved it. So what I imagine is this is the same color story for sure. I hope we're going to get the other shade. This is the deeper shade in this photo. I hope we're going to get the two varieties, and I hope there has been a reformulation because obviously the original, it wasn't very popular. Lots of people, a lot more people disliked it than liked it, I feel. So I'm really hoping this is going to be a new and improved reformulation of that palette. I absolutely love this palette. I loved it. I'm really hoping we get a bit of a better formula for people, a bit more easier to use formula on the bronzer, but I'm really happy it's back because I love mine. And then I've heard that we're getting new liquid lipstick formula from Charlotte Tilbury. Can't really tell from this photo whether those are new shades or that's a new formula, but that is what I've heard, is we're getting a new liquid lipstick formula from the brand. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case as well. So I will 100% be picking up that palette, and if that is a new shade of Beauty Light Wand, I will 100% be picking that up as well. If there's new lip products, I love Charlotte Tilbury lip products, I will review those for you for sure. Obviously I won't be picking up any of the existing products, but I do want to see if that palette has been reformulated so that I can let you guys know all of the tea on that collection. I'm excited. This just visually pleases me. You know, it's like what I was talking about with Bobbi Brown earlier. I see this from Charlotte Tilbury, my heart. It's like, be still, my beating heart. You know, this is getting me. It's tickling my pickle, you know? I think there are just certain brands that we love and we live for and we get excited by their products. And for me, Charlotte Tilbury is literally the top of that list. They float my boat. I know for some people this may be repetitive, and I know that the brand feels repetitive for lots of people. For me, I'll take all the repetition I can get, I'll tell you. I'm a simple soul. Bless me. So there you have it. Those are all of the new and upcoming makeup releases that I've got my beady little eyes on. Please let me know what you're interested in the comment section down below. What are you excited for? Are you underwhelmed by everything and anything? Or are you super hyped for some of these releases? Please let us know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.